All right, welcome back. Let's talk some hockey, shall we? Let's welcome in our friend, sports broadcaster Alexis Pearson. Oh, new backdrop today, Alexis.
New backdrop. Yes, I'm at my parents' house today, actually. They're helping my sister move, so I have the house to myself. So I'm in a kitchen today. Not a fun, exciting closet, but it'll have to do.
This is great, too. All right. Well, we want to talk about the Wild first. Heck of a road trip here, not only in volume, but also in results. So, 10 of the last 15 games so far have been away, but I guess you wouldn't really know it, would you?
No, you wouldn't, by the way that they're winning. And as unfun as it is to start the season on the road, of course, a new hockey season, fans are excited to see the team again. And when they're on the road to start, it sometimes feels a little discombobulated. Like, did the season really start? Why haven't they been at home at all? But they've found great results on the road so far. And I always say, if you can go 500 on the road and play well at home, you're going to be in good hands come the end of the season. And the Wild are doing even better than that right now. This end of this last road trip here where they played just those 3 games against the Sharks, Anaheim, and Chicago. They went 2-0-1, so they picked up 5 of a possible 6 points. And they looked really tired against Chicago for 2 periods, but they found a way to battle back in the third, force overtime, and at least get a point out of that game. And Chicago's not a great team, but again, end of a road trip. I think the guys were a little tired. They've had a few days off now, and they're back home tonight against the Habs, finally in front of the fans at the XL Energy Center.
All right, yeah, I want to get a preview from you here in just a second, but first I want to ask you about Kirill, because he's unstoppable, but is this sustainable?
Well, I think everybody hopes so, right? Of course, anytime you see a start to a season like this, you wonder, can this go on for the entire season? Will it fizzle out? Will there be teams and players who find ways to shut him down? And, you know, we've seen Kirill have really good stretches and really good seasons in years past, of course. But also at times we found teams be able to find a way to stop him. To me, this feels a little bit different, and maybe I'm just being optimistic. I have a tendency to do that, but I just feel like he's finding his groove and he's finding different ways to get points. He's finding different ways to contribute. A lot of his points this year have been assists. We know Kirill as a goal scorer, and somehow this season he's found his role as the guy who passes the puck. So you'll take the points however they can come, and at the end of the day, as long as they're helping the team win, however those points are coming, you'll take them. And I think that's what Kirill has been doing this season. And I really liked what he's been able to do. I mean, the streak of multi-point games he put together, and then the streak of multi-point games on the road. I mean, that's kind of insane when you think about what he's been able to do. And the only other guy who's done it more than he has is the greatest to ever do it, Wayne Gretzky. So I think he's doing a lot of good things this year, and I hope that this continues because they're going to need him to play this way all year if this team is going to continue to be good.
Oh, absolutely. So fun to watch. Okay, so you started to preview it a little bit. So what do we have up next? Tonight you said they're back home, and then I think they play this weekend as well.
Yes, they're back home tonight after a few days off. They play the Habs tonight, which is a team that they have had really good success against in recent years. And the Habs are at the bottom of their division. They only have a couple of wins on the season. So this is a team I think the Wild, especially at home, should be able to take care of. And then coming up on the weekend, they've got a really tough matchup against a team who has had the Wild in a chokehold in recent years, which is the Dallas Stars, who currently sit right behind the Wild in the standings as well. So that's going to be a really good test. And even if you look out to next week, they've got teams like Winnipeg on the schedule, Edmonton, Calgary. These are all going to be really, really good tests for the Wild, some at home, some on the road. But I think this week and a half is going to tell us a lot about this team. They're playing some decent teams and some teams who have had good success against them in recent years. So I'm excited to see where we sit in about a week and a half, and hopefully we're still saying good things when that week and a half is over.
I hope so. Okay, let's talk about the women, PWHL. The Frost training camp starts today. So quickly, who's coming back? Who are we waiting on? Where are we?
Yeah, so exciting stuff to see the women finally hit the ice here and get things rolling. We're just a few short weeks away here. December 1st is Minnesota's first game of the season against New York. So today they hit the ice for training camp. They have 18 players who were on the roster last year who got a training camp invite, which is really exciting to see. And they also have a handful of players signed, including many familiar faces that fans have come to know and love over the last year. 3 players signed extensions in the offseason, which includes Denisa Krzyzova, Liz Shepers, and Michaela Kava, who fans who watched last year recognize how important those 3 extensions are. But they also have a handful of other players who are already on contracts from last year, like Taylor Heisey, Grace Zumwinkle, all these players that played such a big role. They've got 2 goaltenders currently signed, Maddie Rooney and Nicole Hensley, who were the starting goaltenders and backup goaltenders last year. They kind of split time, actually, the way they did it. So they've got a really good core right now, and they're still looking to fill a few extra spots. They've got 16 players signed, and the max roster can be 23. So they still have a few more spots to fill. Those final rosters have to be sent in on Wednesday, November 27th, the day before Thanksgiving. And then the weekend after Thanksgiving there, the 30th and the 1st is when the season kicks off. So we're not too far away.
Can't wait to see the champs back in action. Really quick, we have a few seconds left, but I have to ask you, you texted me something that was cryptic and I didn't understand what it was. So you need to explain something about the PWHL and the NHL 25. What is going on here?
Yes, so the NHL 25 video game is going to include PWHL teams and players. I think it's December 4th or 5th they're officially getting added in there. So anybody who already has the game, just make sure you update once those updates are made. If anybody doesn't have the game yet and you're looking for maybe a fun Christmas gift or holiday gift, who love the PWHL or love women's hockey, it's such a cool inclusion that they're doing, adding all those names and players. And I even, when I saw the press release, I tweeted this out, but the night before, my fiance was literally playing the game, and I'm sitting there thinking that would be really cool if they added the PWHL teams. And then the next morning, the press release came out that they were adding them. I'm like, wow, do I have like magic powers or something? I don't know.
Amazing. Oh, that is so fun. And yeah, so great for young women, girls who are playing the game and they can be represented as they're competing in these video games. So cool. Thank you, Alexis Pearson, sports broadcaster extraordinaire from Mom and Dad's Place today. We love it. We look forward to having you on again. Let's go Wild and let's go Frost. We get to start saying that soon as well. So
absolutely. Thank you, Amy.
Okay. Talk to you soon.